Hello there, people of the internet. We are here today doing an unboxing. I have a Swiss K31 right here, and apparently the Swiss K31 is supposed to be like the absolute pinnacle of bolt-action rifles. It's a straight pull system, and it's supposed to be an overwhelmingly good rifle. So we're going to go ahead, unbox this, have a look at it. I have not even seen this myself, and I'm pretty gosh darn excited for it. So if you like stuff like this, then subscribe to the channel because you're among the right crowd, and I do things like this pretty frequently on this channel. Now, I'm sure that you guys have noticed that this is not my usual recording setup. As a matter of fact, my usual recording setup, my range I normally go to, is no longer available to me. It's now several hours away, and recording there on a regular basis is something that is simply not feasible. So if you'd like to help me get back out onto a range, then links to Patreon and Utreon are in the description below, along with some merchandise down there, or you could donate directly through the merch page. So all that being said, let's go ahead and pull this thing out. This is exactly how I got this from the gun store, and I guess we don't need that anymore. I'm going to set that to the side. I'm used to seeing a cardboard sleeve over these, but the gun store has to open these up, so I'm not sure if there's a cardboard sleeve on this one or not. Besides that, it does have bubble wrap on it. These rifles are supposed to be incredibly good, but this right here is actually the first time that I've ever messed with specifically a Swiss K31. This right here is not only the first one I've owned, but the first time that I've messed with one, so my expectations are pretty high, because people have been telling me for years that these right here are just the greatest of rifles that you could possibly get. Alright, let's see here. What does this tag say? Yep, Swiss K31, perfect. We're gonna pull this off of here and have a look at what we got here. First thing I'm noticing, the stock is much thicker than I was expecting. This is the carbine, and it's much, much shorter than my 9611 that I have. Let's open her up. Oh wow, that is an overwhelmingly smooth system. Oh wow! All right. I can see what the hype is about. Pull the mag out so I can do this comfortably. Okay, cool. Yeah, I could absolutely see why people consider this to be an overwhelmingly good rifle, and it seems to function well. Let's go ahead and pull our bolt. I'm assuming it's this right here. Pull our bolt out. That is significantly shorter than the Schmid Rubin design that I have on my 9611. Let's have a look down our bore. Bore looks phenomenal. Alright, yeah. So first inspections of the rifle, very, very smooth. People have been telling me that these are some of the smoothest, most accurate rifles that are out there. Got a little bit of rust right here on the butt plate, but that's something that'll clean up pretty gosh darn easily. I don't see any markings on the stock. I don't see any cracks on the stock. Plenty of finish left on this rifle. Serial number, I'll have to look that up so I can get a date on this thing, unless I find a date somewhere on it. We got proof marks. We got the Swiss cross on this thing. And this right here has import marks that are right on the side of the receiver. The receiver is much larger than I was expecting. Like, this is a fat rifle. Like, the stock on this thing is very large, very fat. I feel like my 9611 is actually a little bit skinnier of a design. Of course, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have them side by side, but I feel like this receiver is slightly thicker. Alright, rear sight. Yep, that functions. Bore is good. We got some deformities on the wood, but that's what you would expect from a surplus rifle. Ah, there we go. Little Swiss stamp back here on the stock, barely visible. No cracks on the toe. Alright, fantastic. And we got ourselves a magazine that seems to be fully functional. I tell you what, this right here is actually a pretty gosh darn sweet rifle. Hell yeah, I am pretty gosh darn pleased with this one. I know on my 9611, I have essentially the barrel right here, not barrel as in barrel of the rifle, the barrel of the, how the cocking piece looks like a physical barrel, the barrel cocking piece that is like made of rubber and it's deteriorating significantly. This one appears to be made of aluminum, I'm assuming. That's kind of what it looks like. So that right there is probably going to be much more durable than the 120-year-old rubber that I have on my my 9611. All right, first time that I have ever, literally ever, looked at one of these. I see that the cutouts for the handguard are asymmetrical on the stock. And that makes sense just with how it is that you would hold this. Right there's where your thumb would go, right there's where your fingers would go. Very fascinating. I'm learning a lot about this rifle. Like I said, this is the first one I've ever handled. And this is actually very awesome. I'm happy to see just how good of shape this thing is in. So this right here is actually a grab that ended up costing me a lot less than what one of these rifles would normally go for. Every now and then, you'll see an importer that runs them for a significantly less amount of money than what they would normally go for on the private market. And that's what happens whenever an importer gets in a large batch of insert XYZ rifle. They tend to go for less than what people on the private market are asking for. And for the most part, these right here have been pretty much only available on the private market with some very limited imports that have come in. However, recently we've gotten a lot of these Swiss rifles into the country. And so as a result, importers are lessening their costs on these Swiss rifles. This particular one is Royal Tiger, and I think I paid like $3.99 for this, plus the shipping and the transfer fee and all of that stuff, but that is still significantly less money than what a K31 would normally cost. I have been looking to get my hands on one of these rifles for a very long time, but I can't really justify spending like almost $1,000 for one of these. Occasionally you'll find one for like $750 around that ballpark, but even then, that's a lot of money for something like this. But then I saw that RTI was having the flash sale on these, so I went out and I got myself one of these for $400. And well, I don't have access to a range right now, so I can't actually take it out to use it and see how good it actually is. So I will rely on you guys for getting me to that range, and I am definitely trying my best to see what I can do, and hopefully we can get back out to a gun range in a relatively decent time period. Anyway, this right here is the actual unboxing. Hopefully we'll have ourselves a shooting video before too terribly long. Definitely a weird looking rifle. Like, it is very different than what I am used to, and that makes sense because this is a straight pull system that requires a camming system. The front sight wings, those are very odd looking, and it looks like you adjust windage on this rifle by, well, the track for adjusting windage on this rifle is a dovetail track that is horizontal on the front sight blade. So as you push that, it also moves left and right. Very, very unusual system. First time I've seen it, but it seems to be marked right where it needs to be. So we're gonna leave that right there. I have a bunch of wear on the actual muzzle of this rifle. Looks like that's probably from a bayonet. No idea why the Swiss had a bayonet on this rifle for enough time to actually wear the finish off of this rifle. The receiver and the stock, much fatter than I was expecting. Trigger is absolutely phenomenal. I could see why people consider these to be such accurate rifles. These right here, the bullets, the 7.5 Swiss, I think that they take a 308 diameter projectile. There have been people that have been telling me it's 306 diameter, but every single Swiss rifle I've ever gauged out, I've done the, I've slug tested them, they always come out to a 308 diameter bore, so I'm pretty sure it's a 308 diameter. Okay, well, no sling, no accessories, no anything like that. You just get the rifle, but for the amount of money that I spent on this thing, I am okay with that. So yeah, I think that this right here is going to be an accurate rifle because the bore is absolutely fantastic and it seems to be fully functional. So for the amount of money that I spent on this thing, thumbs up. I am happy for it. Thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.